Hey guys, my name is Davin Duncanson and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time on this channel, please consider subscribing, please hit the like button and ring the notification bell, and also please leave your comments below. So today, 5 things that will make you a graphic designer with Photoshop. Okay guys, before I begin, let me just say that if you're opening Photoshop for the very first time, this might not be the best video for you. If you have been playing around with Photoshop and you want to learn how to start creating flyers and posters, well, this is definitely the right video for you. Alright, so let's go. So the 5 things that you need to learn in order to be a graphic designer are: 1. How to create a blank document depending on your project that you're working on. Number 2, how to add text and photos to your document. Number 3, how to remove the background of photos inside of Photoshop. Number 4, how to add color to your document. And number 5, how to create shapes with Photoshop. Alright, so guys, I know that this is not the complete list. I know there are a lot of other things that you can learn with Photoshop, but these are 5 things that will help you to start doing good designs. Alright, so let's begin. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. So I want to begin by showing you this poster. This is a poster that I downloaded from the internet. I'm not really sure what it's about. You can read the information on it, but what it's about is not important. What I want you to look at are the elements of this poster, this design. So here we have a photo, we have some text, we have some shapes, and we have some colors, and you should be seeing those 5 things happening in this design. So we have a document, we have photos and text, we have the background of this photo has been removed and replaced with a city background. We have colors and we have shapes. And to prove that we can recreate this exact design using these 5 things, I'm going to be doing just that. If you want to follow along, you can. Alright, so the first thing is to create a new document. I'm going to make my document 11 inches by 17 inches. So the first thing that you want to do is create a blank document based on the project that you're working on. So the project that I'm working on right now is a poster, and I want to make it 11 inches by 17 inches. Now you can make your poster whatever size you see fit. So here we have a new blank document. Alright, I am going to import the design into this project just to have it for reference, so that we can look at it as we recreate it. So here we have our design that we are going to recreate. So the first thing that I am going to do, I'm going to create the shapes. Alright, and to create the shapes, creating shapes in Photoshop is fairly simple. We have some shape tools on the side here that we can utilize. I am going to use the rectangle tool here, and I'm getting these options. I just click on this tool, click and hold, and there are more options here. All you have to do to select any option is just release on the one that you want. I want to use rectangle tool, so I'm going to release and select the rectangle tool, just like that. Alright, so, and I know that you might be thinking that there are no rectangles on this document, but you'll see very soon. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create a rectangle. Nice. I'm going to work with blue for now. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be moving my shapes around. Alright, so next I'm going to bring up the transform tool by hitting Ctrl and T on my Windows machine. To rotate this, I'm going to just rotate this a little bit to the right. I'm trying to, as you might be able to see that I am actually recreating this shape right here, and just extend this out. 1, 2, 3, and we got our first shape done. Alright, so I want to be able to see through this, so I'm going to reduce the opacity of my blue layer by bringing this down to about, let's say about, yeah, that's good. I'm going to rotate it some more just so that it aligns properly with our design here. Alright, so when you're done your rotation, you hit enter, and that creates our first shape. For the other shapes, I'm going to just duplicate this shape layer here. A very easy way to duplicate any object in Photoshop is Alt, clicking on the item and dragging. So I'm pressing Alt now, and as you can see, my mouse, or the cursor of the mouse, is changing from a single cursor to a double. So once I click and drag, it creates a duplicate of that layer, as you can see. Alright, so I'm going to rotate this one also into place. I'm going to put it right here, and you know what, guys, we're going to just start adding some colors, because already we are mastering creating shapes. I'm going to just start adding some colors now. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in by hitting Control minus on my keyboard. I'm going to extend this a little bit more so that it fills this area here. Now, there are many ways that you can create shapes inside of Photoshop. This is just one of the easiest ways to do it. Alright, so there we go. We have two shapes created. I'm going to make the color of this shape white, since there's a white background over here. And to do that, I'm just going to select back my rectangle tool, and once I have this tool selected, the options appear at the top of the screen, as you can see, to change the color. I'm going to change the color from that blue to a white. Yeah, that's white. It's white. I'm not seeing the full white because the opacity was reduced over here. Alright, so it's white. Alright, so let's make that full white. Let's bring it down under our other layer over here. We want to make this layer orange. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing again. Go back over to the rectangle tool, the option. Once we have our layer highlighted, we go to the rectangle tool, option appears to change the color of, we should be on this layer. We're going to change the color of this to orange, and to select the orange, we are going to hit, if we wanted to match the color perfectly, we can hit the color picker tool over here and select orange, and there we go, orange. So now we have our first two shapes created. I'm going to also turn up the opacity of my orange shape here. And we have two shapes. Next, I want to duplicate one more shape. Let's start with this smaller one. You know what, let's not do that. I'm going to show you another way that you can create shapes very easily inside of Photoshop. And I'm going to be creating these shapes by using the pen tool. The pen tool is in your tools panel on the left over here, so click, select the pen tool, and all you do is just click where the shapes start and just select the areas that you want to create your shape, and just like that you have a selection here that can be made a shape. The next step is right click on this and say make selection. No, and leave this at 0. Leave the feather radius at 0. That's not important. Once you click OK, your selection has been created. Now all you have to do is put this selection onto a new layer. So a new layer, you go to your in your layers panel on the right over here, and you click new layer. There we have a new layer, and all I have to do now is to select the color that I want inside my layer. Alright, so I'm going to put orange inside of this shape, and to do that I'm just going to click on the color panel on this side, click orange, and probably that one, and click OK. Next, I'm going to fill my selection with color, and to fill a selection with color, a very easy shortcut is by pressing Control and Delete on your Windows PC. And as you can see, I got the white and not the orange that I want. So I'm going to undo that by pressing Control Z on my keyboard, and I'm going to press Option or Alt on my Windows machine and delete, and that gives me my orange shape. Alright, so the next step is there is a white shape at the top here. We want to create this one as well, so I'm going to create a white shape up here. Right, perfect. And let's make this one white. So create a new layer again, Control Delete, and there we go, a white shape. Now once you fill your shape with color, you want to press Control D to deselect it. Alright, I have auto select on at the top of my screen here, and what this does with auto select, any layer that you select in your document will be highlighted for editing in your layers panel. Alright, so right, this layer, under this layer, I'm going to turn this off so that you can see under this layer we actually have two colors. There are some, we got some white there, and to fix that I'm going to turn this layer on, reduce the opacity of the layer so that we can see the white. Right, and I'm going to create a white shape right here. To create my white shape, all I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new layer, highlight my layer, just grab the pen tool again, and just click the points. I'm going to just guess this one, that it's right here, the points of my layer, my shape that is, and create a new shape just like that. Once I close all the points on the pen tool, I'm going to just make my shape into a selection. I have my new layer selected, and I'm going to fill that with white by hitting Control and Delete, and there we go. We have successfully created all the shapes for this design. Right, so I know you might be thinking, how are we going to get the word, the information? But that's the easy part. We all can type, right? Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to look for a photo that can be placed right here. And I have already gone ahead and downloaded a photo that I think can work. You can just go on Google and search for businesswoman photo, and you should be able to find a lot of photos. Now I did that already, and I have my photo on my desktop, this one right here. I'm going to be using this photo. I'm just going to drag it into Photoshop like so. Alright, now very important guys, importing this photo into Photoshop brings us to our next step that we need to be able to master. Alright, so once I drag a photo in, I'm going to hit enter to release the photo. The next thing that we want to do is we want to remove the white background from behind our lady here, because we don't want that background. And there's a very easy way to do it. We're going to actually remove the background from this picture by using the quick selection tool. Now the quick selection tool is on the left. The shortcut for the quick selection tool is W. So here we have the quick selection tool. I'm going to use my right bracket key to make it bigger. I have my layer selected in my layers panel, and all I'm going to do now is just click to create a selection of my lady like so. Okay, and we're just practicing, so we don't need to be 100% perfect, you know. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in by hitting Control and plus on my keyboard, so I can select these the areas there. That looks good. After we've created our selection, I'm going to hit the Refine Edge tool, which is at the top of the screen, the Refine Edge tool. There we go. And I'm going to tell Photoshop that I want this on a new layer. I'm going to make the smoothness 2 pixel. The feather is going to be 2 pixel, and that these settings should be okay. And click OK. And just like so, we have our lady with the background removed. Next thing that we want to do is we are going to place this lady over the other lady in the design. Right, so don't worry too much about the placement of this lady for now, because we're going to get rid of the old poster completely very soon. Alright, so I'm going to hit enter to accept my changes. The next thing that I want to do is I want to put my lady here behind the shapes. Alright, so I'm going to hold my lady layer right here, and I'm going to pull it down behind the shapes like so. Down one more, there we go, she's behind the shapes. Now I realize that these shapes should be behind my lady, so I'm just going to highlight it and pull it below my lady layer. This is I'm going to rename my lady layer. So double click on this and rename it lady. Right, so this shape also should be beneath my lady layer. So there we go, and voila, we are almost done, guys. Can you believe that? Great. Alright, so this, I'm going to pull my old design to the top of the page so you can see it clearly. Alright, so this is what we started with, and this is what we have. Alright, so we need a background layer for our design. So let's find that. We want a city background. Let's go back to Google and say, Google, please give us a city background. And just like so, I'm going to go images, and we are going to be using this one. The very first one that comes up is fine. I'm going to just right click on this and select copy. I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to go to edit, paste, and paste my background, which is very small. I'm going to hit Control T, bring up the transform tools, and I'm going to just make this bigger. Alright, nothing fancy required here, just making my background a little bigger. Press enter to accept my changes. I'm going to pull my background layer down below my lady layer. Then now I'm going to turn off my old design, and voila. Voila, guys, look at that. We have our new design. Alright, so we have some information. First information says grow your business with us. We're going to add the exact same thing. So we're going to manipulate our text to make it look like the text on our poster here. Alright, so the text first of all should be white, so I'm going to make my text white by selecting the text color at the top of the screen and selecting white. My text is now white. We are not able to see my text because of another shape that we did not create, which is a orange that we need to have over our city, just like in this photo here. So to do that, that's very easy. I'm going to show you a very easy way to do that. We're just going to create another shape. So I'm going to select the rectangle tool again, click from outside any corner and just drag. Now we have a new shape that covers the entire document. Alright, the next thing that we want to do is we want to reduce the opacity of this shape so that we can see our city in the background, just like so. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough. So we need to add some shadows to our text. So we're going to be doing some more editing on our text to make it more visible. So select your text tool, select the text, select all the text, bring up the character panel. I'm going to stretch this a little bit. Okay, you guys, you can just play around with these, learn what they do. Alright, to add the shadow, I'm going to just highlight my layer, go on the effects button at the bottom here, click and hold and just release it and drop shadow, just like that. The option for all the effects came up. I'm going to select drop shadow, change the size of my shadow to make it more visible, and there. And we're going to make it a little bit closer. So presently we can see that the space between these words or these lines are 103 points. Basically we want to reduce that to a smaller number. Let's try 72. We still want to be a little bit smaller. Let's try 60. Alright, nice. There's another easy way or a little trick that we could do with this. We could just select all the text, grab hit right here and just pull this, and that will also change the size. Alright, there we go. So now we have our text looking close enough. I think we're good with that. I'm just going to keep adding text, basically duplicating some of the text that are here. I'm going to be doing that right now and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we did not create this layer down here, this dark layer. So we're going to be creating that dark layer right now by just clicking and dragging a rectangle, creating a new layer and adding some color. I'm going to be selecting black, since this inside of this shape is black, and adding my color by pressing Alt and Delete, and there we go. Move this layer to where we want it, which is right here, and here we are. Now we have successfully created or recreated most of the elements that were on our initial original poster design, which is this design from the internet. Now I am not going to add all of this information. I mean, if you want, you can add all of this information. What I'm going to be showing you, however, is how you can add this information if you want to add this information. Text tool, I'm going to start with search optimization right here. So I'm going to make my text black so that you can see my text black. I'm going to bring my text to the top of the page here so that my text becomes visible. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Alright, great. Alright, I'm going to be making the word optimization orange. And just like so. We have duplicated these words, and to keep duplicating these, I'm just going to press Alt and click and drag my first text here, one there, another one there. I know these are icons that you can find on the internet. Now this is an art, this is a piece of a puzzle. Well, it's the shield actually. This is a piece of a puzzle, and this is a globe. You can find all of these elements on the internet. Just search for them inside of Google. These are also elements that you can find inside of Google, and this would be the company's logo. I'm not gonna put that there. Here we have our first design from the internet, and we have our experiment from it. Voila. So I think the only thing that is missing is some more information, which we could continue adding the information. But the fundamental thing that I want you to understand, guys, is that all you need to create any design is an understanding of how to manipulate photos, how to remove the background from photos, which is very easy using the quick selection tool, how to add text, how to add color, how to add shapes, and basically how to create a document to the size that you would want your document to be, depending on what kind of project you're working on. It could be a business card, it could be a flyer, it could be a brochure, it could be a poster. Whatever project you decide to work on, you would need to know the size that you want it. So guys, I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer any question. I hope the video was not too difficult to understand. I know that some of you may have a challenge with my accent, but I'm still working on my presentation, and hopefully we'll get better together. Until next time, take care.